Hello, everybody. We are live. We have a special guest today. Stella, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Stella. I'm Jes's daughter.
So exciting. She is filling in for a few minutes, and I think that's so much fun. So I wanted to say hi to you first because we haven't actually officially met. I'm Allison. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
Was this your idea to fill in, or did your mom suggest it?
Did me.
Have you ever gone live on a show before?
Only on her Instagram.
Oh yeah, have you? That's so cool. What did you talk about on that?
How to make French fries.
Oh my gosh. So you know how to make French fries?
Yes, but I don't share the recipe.
Oh, okay. What do? You do it in an air fryer or in? Yeah. I have been wanting to get an air fryer. Do you use it a lot?
Yeah, we got the Ninja Foodie.
Oh, that's so fun. Somebody is saying that they love your hair, and I also wanted to comment on that. Tell me about your hair a little bit.
I got it done 2 days ago.
That's so fun. Is it all over or is it just in the front?
It's highlighted through.
Oh, that's so fun. That is so fun. I tried to, so I have red hair and that's never really been a real option to put different color in it because it would just like make my hair do wonky things. But I always was jealous of people that could experiment like that. That's so fun.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part of your week, Stella? Anything that was fun or you kind of liked?
No, I had to go to school all week.
Oh, that's right. You were still in school. Are you done now?
The 23rd is my last day.
Sorry, it broke up a little bit. Can you say that again?
Well, I'm in school right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the 23rd is my last day.
Okay. So what's the date today? Oh, you still got, what day is the 23rd?
Wednesday.
But
Tuesday and Wednesday are half days.
Are they more fun?
Yeah.
They're doing parties or field days or something like that?
Yeah.
That's good. You almost want to be like, okay, that's fun, but let's just be done.
Yeah.
I get it. I totally get it. So tell me something that is something you like to do around a regular basis or something that you enjoy doing.
I compete gymnastics.
Do you?
Yeah.
Which is it the type of gymnastics that's the artistic, like walking on bars and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Very dance-like. That's really cool. What's your favorite part of that?
All of it.
Yeah? How long have you been doing it?
Well, I quit when I was 4 and then I joined back a few years ago.
Okay. Cool. You have some good friends in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. My daughter did gymnastics. She's actually she took the year off. Same thing, but she's been talking about doing it again. I've been thinking about getting her back in, but she always did power tumbling. And so it's just like the tumbling and the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't do all the bars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different, huh? Funny story, I had no idea what I was getting her into. I just thought all gymnastics was the same. And it took me a few months to be like, wait a minute, they're not doing any bars. I'm confused about this. That's cool. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Listen, a funny story. Talk a little.
I don't have any funny stories, Mom.
So for those of you who are just joining us, this is Stella. This is Jes's daughter. And Jes is, what is she on FaceTime with you?
Yeah, she's paused.
Hi, Jes. She'll be here in just a few minutes. She was ready.
She'll be right here.
She'll be right here. I think this is great. I love it. So what's something that you want to do this weekend that you think is fun?
Sleep.
Oh, yeah. So how late do you sleep in?
More than a single word, honey.
Okay, Mom.
How late? What do you sleep in like really late? Because my daughter sleeps in really late.
Well, on Sundays I sleep in until like 8 o'clock, but on Saturdays I need to get up and go to gymnastics.
Oh, okay. So you don't actually have that many days to sleep in. That's why you want to sleep. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'm sitting here thinking 8 o'clock's really not that late.
Yeah.
That's funny. What do you have any questions for me?
How many kids do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 kids. I have, I think you met my daughter Ella the other day. So I have an Ella, and that's so cute. So Ella and Stella. Ella is 11 and Austin is almost 10. They're very close in age. And Connor, my youngest, is 6. And
Do you like plants? You have a plant in the background.
I do. So that is actually a really fun plant because it doesn't, it survives me. I tend to be a plant killer. So this one lasts and it can handle just about any location, which is fun. Yeah. Do you like plants? There's a plant behind you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my mom's plant.
Do you help take care of them?
I take care of all my plants.
Oh, you have your own plants.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you have?
Like 12?
No way.
I have a lot.
You have more than me. Are they all in your room?
Well, tell her their names.
Oh, do you have names?
I forgot their names, but like it was Bob.
Bob, I love it.
There was a Bob. A Martha. Martha died.
Oh, she was a difficult one.
Martha was difficult.
Plants can be so picky.
I know.
High maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you remember it?
One of them back to life.
Did you? How'd you do that? What's the trick?
I gave it to my sister, and she gave it back in a few weeks, and it was alive.
Wait, so she brought it back to life?
Yeah.
How did she do that? Because this is the thing I never know how to do.
I have no idea. She probably put some crystal on it. I was like healing it.
Talking to it.
Yeah.
Telling it to be, it's okay. We're all okay. You can come back.
She does all day.
I think that that's really, really cool that you have a lot of plants, because I kind of do this thing where I get plants and then just the hardiest ones make it through and then the rest of them just kind of die off. And then I keep doing that until I just have a collection of really hardy plants that can last with me.
Yeah.
They make a difference in the room though, don't they?
They do. Oh, strawberries? Can I eat them?
Hi.
Say bye.
Thanks for joining us, Stella.
There's strawberries in the fridge that you can have. Thank you, Stella. Oh my God. Let's talk about what it's like to be a mom with your house gutted, your kids home from school every other day, running a giant business, and having kids that go to jobs and gymnastics.
Kids that go to jobs? You have.
So my 14-year-old got her working papers, and because she wanted to make money, and so she goes to school every other day because that's what like full-time school is this year. Is that you're only there every other day for them.
Okay.
So during her lunch 3-hour period of time, she works at a restaurant.
Wow.
So because she can like log on to her classes from the cash register and make a tremendous amount of money like working.
Oh my gosh.
School. So
that's really clever.
Yeah. So the minimum wage in New York is $12.50.
Oh wow.
I mean, which is great. But like for a 14-year-old, I kind of feel like that's almost more money than I make.
I know. I know. I'm like, wow, I'm trying to remember my first job.
And then she also gets tips. So she gets to take home all the tips from the lunch shift.
Oh, wow.
So like, but okay, so here's the complication for me is that it's every other day. And so every week it's completely different. And it's like, I have to remember to take her to work on the days that she's home doing school at home, which is not the same day any week.
Oh,
And it's like, you would think, I mean, I have to, like, I feel sometimes like, how can I be a professional organizer when my days are so insane? And then I'm like, maybe if I weren't, then it would be even worse.
yeah, no, I totally agree with that because I do the same thing where I'm like, how am I a professional mindset coach when I'm just like all the things all the time in my mind and inside? And it's like, but I think that's actually a good thing because we're in the real thick of it, right? We're not like far distant away from it.
Well, I also, Allison, let's talk about this for a second. It is like 100% my responsibility in our house to like deal with all the kid stuff. Like my husband is at work. He works really, really hard. He's an awesome human, and he helps if I'm like specifically like, you have to go do this at this time. But like all the rest of the coordinating and everything is like, moms have to do it. I'm sorry, but moms still have to do it. Like, is that your experience also?
100%. And I think also like, my husband is just he would just not even understand how all the things have to work. And like I just don't think their brains are set up the same as ours, where we can see all the things that have to happen and all the timing and all. Now, does my brain do a great job with it? I don't know. But at least we can see.
Like, we're running businesses though too. So like women at work running businesses and running a household is so complicated. And whenever people reach out to me and they're like, I feel so overwhelmed, I'm like, yeah, because you're doing it all. Like, I mean, it is overwhelming.
Yeah. It's funny though, because I think that the more that we get playful with our schedule and with just our outlook and with just how we choose to think of it as, really like has to be just like this, or maybe just like it could be whatever. However this goes is okay. The better off we are. I mean, just like today is a perfect example. How fun is that you were like, let's improvise, let's bring on Stella. And that was great. That was super fun. And I think that is really the trick.
Well, I think, like as moms, we have to raise girls, especially boys also, but like girls that can be flexible and basically understand that like you can do what you want to do with your life and make it your own thing. And I've like really had to break through the mold thinking, like not moldy, like mold, right? like that you work 9 to 5, right? And then you make dinner and then you X, Y, and Z. Like my life looks nothing like that ever. And actually, I don't want it to look like that because I'm trying to squeeze all of this stuff and make it work. And if this year has taught me anything, it's that flexibility is absolutely key. Flexibility and understanding, right? Because no day is the same. It's going to be a Anastasia at work day today, Stella at gymnastics, and workers here. And I don't have a kitchen. So that was the other thing, is that she works at a restaurant. So I actually ordered breakfast, but it wasn't ready in time, which is why I had to wait in the car.
Love it. Yeah, I love it. I used to, I came from a family that was very structured in their schedule and very typical. Like this was the hours of, when dad worked, these were the hours, this is when I had with dinner. It was just all very much the mainstream typical kind of life. So for a really long time, I just thought that my husband and I were just totally incorrect about everything, the way we're doing anything ever. And I was like, it's just not how it's supposed to be. It's not okay. This is why it's not okay. Doing all the compare and despair thing. And then I finally realized one day, I was like, I actually prefer this. I don't actually want that routine. I have so much more fun with this, like, it's going to be kind of like this. And then, I mean, not just kidding. We're going to maybe do it like that. And that's okay. And that flexibility, it feels much more playful to me. And I just think it's a lot more fun, actually. So I like that you said that. Like, I actually don't want that other thing, and enjoying what I have and the fun of that, oddness to it all.
Right. It's yes, being in like more of a flow. It's the only way to do it, because the other way does not work. It worked in 1950. Okay. It's not 1950 anymore. And also we had no clutter then, because we didn't have like, we weren't importing like containers upon millions of containers of plastic stuff from across the world. Right. So and there was less of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And there was also just, there was differences in a lot of things. I had a conversation with my grandma recently where she talked about how they really valued leisure back when she was, in her 40s and 50s. And there was just so much, like, she would just go on trips and they would go dancing, and the leisure and like rest and all that was such an important thing. I think that's another thing that's really changed too with our time period now. It's just everything's like go, 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 and productive and yeah, how you're making yourself.
Have you seen that little meme that's like circulating around where it's like Europeans on vacation, like, I'm out of the office until September. Like, I'll get you back this email, like, in September. And like Americans, like, I'm just going out for kidney surgery, but you can reach me anytime on my cell. I'll be back at the office in 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's like so true.
Yeah. Yeah. What is that?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Why is that? It's,
almost every coaching client that I have, and myself included, we always struggle with this idea of like what we're viewing as success according to society.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it always revolves around this: am I proving myself valuable and productive and making myself justified in my existence here, which is always like work yourself to death, because this is what success looks like according to who? I don't know.
Who is that according to?
That's a good question. It's such a big thing. And I keep finding it in myself too. Like, how am I gauging what I consider to be a success? Right. And
right.
Why? What is that about? Like, who am I proving myself to? I don't know.
Well, here's another thing I thought this morning as I was looking at my Instagram stories and following my people. Like, every single thing that I see on social media that we all see is fake. Like, we're all filtered. Yeah. We're all like only showing a little tiny snippet, right? Mm-hmm. So like everything is fake. The advertisements that we see are fake. People are actually like, photoshopped to look differently. Food is fake in photographs. Like, literally it's fake food that's like made to look like the perfect drip is like painted on to the food when it's staged. Like,
I used to do photography. So like, I'm familiar with all this. Even if you're doing real food, it's still not like real food. It's like raw and like just placed a certain way and done a certain way in order to
like hairsprayed, right? And like it's like shellacked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything is fake today. Nothing is real.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So when our mind wants to take us to like the things we don't have yet, or the places that we've not reached yet, or the things that other people have, just use this as a reminder. Pull it out of the back of your mind, like, oh yeah, that's all fake and that's not a real thing anyway. And having that won't make me happier.
No. Okay. Yeah. So there's the thing, is that we're trying to buy happiness through like this false, totally false facade. Right?
Mhm.
Amy says, having done commercials, I can tell you that it's all fake. It's really fake.
Mhm.
Yeah. If there's anybody in the comments who wants to hop on and chat with us about it's all fake, which is now the tagline of today's episode.
Yes.
Let us know. We'll bring you aboard.
Yeah. We would love that. This is so fun to do. To bring
Also, I
people
have
on.
figured out that all the dust in my house has created clogged tear ducts in my eyes, which is why they've been watering for the last 6 months. So I feel like I have Dr. Googled myself into like understanding why I've been crying for 6 months straight.
Oh, no.
Clogged tear ducts. So
Oh no.
that's why I'm always wiping my eye, because I'm like, oh, what's going on? Hashtag it's all fake. It is all fake, except for the tears are real. They're just not being generated by emotion.
There's no emotion here.
I talk a lot about the illusion of convenience in all of my like groups, and I have a podcast on it. So it kind of goes along with this idea that it's all fake. Like the illusion of convenience is that if I just buy something, it's going to be my life is going to be more convenient and easier, right? But it's all an illusion, because the more you buy, the more you have to like then deal with it. Okay, Amber says she wants to jump on. I think that's what you're saying, right, Amber? Sure, is that sure? I'll jump on. Amber, I'm gonna drop you the invite link, and we'll see if we can get you up here. All right, hold on one second. And negotiate a bunch of different things here.
I have a funny story. I'll tell it. Well,
yeah, tell the story. Tell the story.
It's not really a story. It's more of just a like and my own personal aha stuff. I have always thought of like cleaning my house as this huge chore, and it's like this whole big thing, like all or nothing that I have to do, which is why I've always been like really, really bad at keeping up with it. And then when my kids started to get to a little bit of an age where I could involve them in things, I was trying to think about how to do that and how to make it easier. And I was particularly thinking of like vacuuming. Vacuuming is an easy thing, but they were too small for the big vacuum and just like wouldn't work right. And I was like, how do I do that? How do I get them to help? And I was like, oh my gosh, there's a thing called brooms. I've never used brooms in my life because vacuum seems so convenient, right? Like the vacuum, like you don't have to like sweep it into something and go dump it. But I couldn't get my kids enlisted with the vacuum at that age. So I went and bought brooms, and I have been only using brooms pretty much like, cause I have a lot of wood floors. So obviously not on carpet, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, these are the best things ever because they're so simple and I can just like go underneath things and my kids can do it. I'm like, why have I avoided like the things that are actually just such the simple thing of life, just like a simple broom.
All right, here's the irony of brooms. I think that broom is maybe the only thing that technology has made worse, because back in the day, the dustpan was metal and it didn't like warp so much, but now it's plastic and it has a lip and it's completely useless, right? So like a broom was like an amazing tool, and then like now it's like still good, but the dustpan has become like totally not functional with a plastic lip.
We'll be like fans of brooms, not as much fans of dustpans. Although I will say, I don't know that I've quite had that experience. Mine have been okay.
Oh, see, and I have like the lip on the plastic part, and I'm like, God, you can't get the little tiny like things, like the little particles. They just keep piling up next to the dustpan. I'm like, this is not like now I need a vacuum.
Moving the dustpan back.
Okay, my husband does say that I do it incorrectly, and then I reject that statement because he's not sweeping.
I reject your opinion.
Yes, Juliana says she hates the plastic part. Okay, Juliana.
I understand what you're saying. A sheet of paper, that's smart.
Yeah. Oh, look, very technical here. Just use a sheet of paper.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you can do things like that. When it's just like, why don't I just use this random thing. That totally works.
Oh my gosh, we should make a DIY video on using a piece of paper to get
So we should make like
life hack.
like reels and TikTok videos of all the different life hacks that we come up with on this show.
Oh my gosh, we totally should. Okay, we have Amber here.
Oh, yay.
Can we bring her on?
Yeah, let's bring her on. Hey, Amber.
Hi.
Hi.
Where do I go?
The other way of what we need to do.
You guys are making me laugh and think on all
here?
of the things today.
Oh yeah, you can't see her or hear her?
I can't see her.
What?
Oh, there she is. Okay. Maybe there's something going on with me on my side. I don't know. Hi, Amber.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I was actually saying sure to Jes because the no emotion thing, because I think it was totally but that's okay.
Like I wasn't necessarily volunteering.
If you didn't volunteer, I just volunteered you.
That's cool.
Well, we're glad you're so flexible.
Yes. What so good. Examples of flexibility all over the place.
When Jes Marcy
came in handy. Yep.
All right. So Amber, welcome to our show with no name.
Yes.
Yay.
Welcome.
Do we have any questions for our guest?
Well, I was thinking I want to start asking you guys, what is something that happened this week or something about this week that made you happy, that you enjoyed? Anybody have one? I can start.
Why don't you go first, Allison?
It's always easy when you ask the question because then like you think about it ahead of time. I've noticed with my kids lately that I've just been trying to tune in more to just paying attention to what's happening. And I've noticed that they are really brave and it makes me really happy. So like my son had a soccer camp this week, and on Monday morning, I was like, I wonder if Connor could do this too, because he's the younger one. And I don't know why I think I had thought of it ahead of time, but I saw that the age he was younger than the age was to be. So I was like, well, let's just ask them when we get there if you can just join in. Why don't you just wear your stuff and we'll just find out. And so he was like kind of excited, but then he kept saying, I'm scared, like on the way there. And then we got there, we found out that they were like, yeah, have him join. He can do it too. And he was just like, okay, like I'm scared, but I'm going to do it. And he's just been very, very brave. And it just makes me really happy because that's the kind of stuff. And I saw my daughter do this the other day too, where we were at a pool that had sand volleyball, and a bunch of kids were playing volleyball, and we never really played volleyball. And she just went over there and stood there and was like waiting to participate with all these kids that she didn't know. And I'm like, I wouldn't have done that when I was younger. I'm so proud of her. It's going to be really, really good for her to do all these skills, have that practice. So that was something that made me happy this week.
I love it.
Me too. Mm-hmm.
Amber, do you want to go next?
I've had a crazy week. So I decided to leave my job last week. I turned in my notice on Monday, and I was kind of stressing about it. Today is Juneteenth, apparently. I had never heard of it before, and I know that's probably not the good thing, but now I know, and I think it's great that we have Juneteenth. And I worked for the VA, and so that's a government agency, and they gave us the day off yesterday afternoon without any notice. And so I got my last day off, and I was like, oh, sweet. So I had to hurry up and be flexible and take my stuff to Denver, which is 2 hours away from here, and turned in all my stuff. And I was at the office where my husband and I worked together. And so that was a little bit rough for me. But, I left the place crying, but happy and relieved. And I think I was a little bit beating myself up about it this morning, thinking, now, why did you give up that good job? Why are you doing this to yourself? And I was like, you know what? I'm doing all those things that he was supposed to be helping me with. My husband passed away, if you haven't heard. And I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? I wasn't making great money at the VA. I was a GS5, if you know anything about that. It's like $30,000 a year. I said, I'm paying myself to do all the things that he was supposed to be here to help. And I think that's a a good mindset shift for me, because I was just like, you know what? I deserve to be paid for keeping the house clean and getting the kids to where they're going and um doing all the things. So that
Yeah.
made me happy today.
That's awesome, Amber. Thanks for sharing that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Amber,
I
is
hope
this where you met your husband at work?
Actually, we met online.
Oh
But
man, so awesome.
yeah.
I feel like I missed out on all the online dating.
I know, me
Everybody
too.
meets online anymore. You can't meet in person. But I got the job in Denver thinking that I was moving my family to Denver, and it turned out that it was cheaper to live in Cheyenne and commute to Denver than it is to live in Denver. So that's what we ended up doing.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. That's cool.
And then it ended up being a home job because of COVID and all that. So it was a good job. It served its purpose while I was there, and now it's time for me to focus on other things. So here I
That's
am.
Somehow now you're on the show with no name.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
all the opportunity now for things like this.
Mhm.
You can pop onto live streams any time of the day now.
Anytime.
I think that's
I know
awesome.
it was a big deal for Amber to leave her job, and I know that. I mean, I've kind of like seen the process unfolding, and I have been so proud of you for taking that risk as a friend of mine, because I know all like the behind the scenes and how hard it is to leave a job. It's so hard. That's like maybe one of the scariest things I ever did was actually leave my job, mostly because I was scared of what my future boss was going to say to me.
I
But
was scared of that too, but everybody at my job was really supportive. So I was like, wow, okay. Yeah.
I heard a lot of, I wish I could do that. And then I thought, you can. Like, I mean, you could. Like, I mean, it's not easy and it might take some like figuring, but you don't have to stay doing something you don't love for 35 years.
I'm so glad that you said that. That's such a thing that is so easy to get stuck in. Well, not just jobs, like everything that we do in life that are just our fear side of our brain is like, that sounds scary and like I don't know what's on the other side of it, so we'll just stay here forever in this, mediocre kind of space. Yeah.
Life is too short to live that way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So proud of you.
Thank you. I'm not crying, you're crying.
Your tear ducts are unclogged there. This is emotional. The other time in my life that I heard a lot of people say those words to me, like I've always wanted to do that, was when I took my kids on a cross-country road trip for 8 weeks alone, right? Just me and the kids and my niece. And, we went to like 20 something national parks, but in the planning for this, I talked obviously a lot about it to a lot of people because it was a huge thing that we were doing for me. And the comment that I got the most was, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do that. And like, my response was like, well, you should probably go do it. Like, like, what are you waiting for? The time is never going to be perfect. Like, it's never going to be, there's no such thing as perfect, right? And if you wait too long, you might have waited too long. So let this be the message to everyone out there. If there is something you have always wanted to do, do it. Do it. Do not wait. Do not wait. Live your life right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk for a second just about like all the things that stop people? Like maybe there's something that we can help like nudge people in that direction. Because I think that people get stopped in so many ways.
Time and money.
Yes. And what?
Fear.
Yeah. Well, it's always this fear of like not enoughness, right? Like somehow we have to hold tightly to our time or our money, or like how we see things actually, it's like the unknown is so scary. And even though we don't like where we are, at least we know it and we can like hold tight to keeping it that way. And so there's this idea that somehow we'll be avoiding. I think what a lot of it is we are afraid of feelings that we might feel. I think that's what everything always comes down to. Like we're afraid of feelings. We're afraid of feeling like failures. We're afraid of like what other people might say and then how we're going to feel. And it's all just feelings. And
well,
so
I think a lot of times when you do something that other people perceive, or that when you do something you perceive as scary, right? Okay, so we'll take this cross-country road trip or leaving your job like Amber did. Like, it is scary. There's risk involved, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's risk involved getting into your car every single day, but we tend to like just ignore that, right? So there's risk involved. And I think there's a fear that other people are going to say to you, you are crazy for doing this. It's dangerous, or it's a bad move. You're going to have no money, no insurance, no protection. That was one thing that I got with this cross-country road trip. Like, you're traveling alone with girls. Like, yeah, actually I am. And I believe in like the goodness of the human race. And I believe that, yeah, something bad might happen, but more likely something good is going to happen, because that is what happens more. Like 90% more, right? But when people say like, I can't believe you're doing that, that's so dangerous, what they're saying is, I'm scared to do that.
Right.
It's not a judgment on you, even though it comes across that way. So
yeah. And that's such a good point, because I mean, that's what I talk about with all of my coaching stuff. It's like what someone else says to you, it's only if you're agreeing with it that you end up sharing the same feelings. So if you can simply say like that, yeah, someone has thoughts about that and that doesn't register with me at all, because I have conditioned myself with these new thoughts and beliefs that I'm going to have a great time and I'm going to build so many memories and it's all, and I'm really capable and this is all going to be amazing. That's how we protect ourselves within our own energy bubble. Like, yeah, I can go do whatever I want and you can say whatever you want. And I get to still feel like take care of my feelings and I'll be fine. So like, even if it's scary and even if my brain is like, yeah, that's a possibility, I don't have to live in that fear the way someone else is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Amber? Have you gotten any crazy comments since? Although what I have found also is that most people are supportive of your crazy ideas. Like the vast majority are like, "Oh yeah, I would totally do that if I could." Right?
Uh-huh.
This older lady that I met when I first started at the VA only 2 years ago, there was two people in the office where I was turning in my identification card, and I said, life is too short and I've got to just follow my dreams. And she says, yep, you're going to go live your life. And the other lady that was looking at her like, what? And by the time I left that office, I could see the wheels turning in her head. When I walked into that office, she was growly and I was like, oh, she needs a break. But when I left that office, her mindset just changed in the few minutes that I was there. And I was just like, I wonder where she's going to go with that. You don't know how many people are watching you and learning from you, even when you're not expecting it. And I think that my husband and I had this agreement when we first merged our families. I have 3 teenagers, and he has he's 12, 11 now, and we were like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to merge these families? And I said, we're going to lead by example. We're going to show them what we expect from them, and we're going to keep learning ourselves. And I think that's a good philosophy for everybody who's living, because you never know who's watching you and who's going to take something from that. So
yeah, that's so cool.
I think that that lady in the office, her whole emotion changed just in the time that I told a little bit of my story, and she saw a new way of things possible happening, and she was just like thinking instead of growling. And it was good to see. I don't know. Life is weird sometimes.
Life is weird all the time.
Life is weird all the time. Yeah. And just the openness to that is such a good starting place. Like, yeah, it's just weird. And we just, you know, go with the flow of how the different situations pan out. And I love that you were able to see that as a possibility. Like, yeah, I don't have to stay here. This is a possibility. I'm open to that as an idea. And then you can go further down that path and end up with all this amazing time and opportunity now ahead of you.
I'm excited. I don't know what's coming, but I know it's good.
That's a good quote.
That is a good quote. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what's coming, but I know it's good.
So good. I love that. I love that.
Amber, I have to just say personally to you that so we met right after your husband passed, and I have been so inspired watching you take on everyday life after this massive, massive loss and transition. And I just want to thank you for being a tremendous inspiration to me. You are handling everything with such poise and grace and the best mindset I've ever seen ever. So thank you so much. These are emotional tears now.
You know, I haven't had an easy life, and I think even though lots of bad things have happened to me, it's led to me learning skills and just seeing the world in a different way than I would have otherwise. You know, I haven't had an easy life, so I don't expect it to be easy all the time, because I know that those bad times come up, and I know that they're not permanent. And sometimes it's hard to remember that, but you just got to keep pushing through. You got kids to think about, you got family to think about, you know, and, you know, life is life. So,
yeah,
I feel blessed to be here, and I keep getting this people telling me they think I'm strong and stuff, and it's like, I don't always feel strong. I very rarely feel strong.
Yeah.
But obviously I learned something, and I have something to share. So, and I think God led me to this place with these people and this opportunity to do that. So thank you for stepping into it and being here.
Thank you for stepping into it and being here.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I love what you said about it's not permanent. I think that's one of the most valuable things that we can hold on to when we're in the lows, right? And whatever those may be. I mean, you've been through such deep, dark lows, right? Mm-hmm. And whenever we're experiencing any kind of lows, I think it's just so helpful to just notice it is, you know, it's an experience. It's not everything and only this. It's temporary. It's not the only thing that's ever going to be.
And it provides contrast.
Exactly.
You know, if you're an artist, you know that beautiful things have contrast. And so if you can see the darkest darkness, you can also see the brightest brightness. And that's the way I try to be. My husband, when we first started dating, he said that one of the things he really valued in a person was the ability to see beauty even after seeing so much darkness. And he knew my story. So I try to remember that. I'm like, you know, whenever I'm feeling really dark, I look around for something beautiful, because there is contrast no matter where you're at.
Yeah, I 100% believe that and see that too. Do you create art? I'm just curious.
I used to, and now I hope to start doing it again. I write, and I also paint, and I do sculpture.
I love sculpture.
Yes.
Sculpture
My
was always
daughter's
my
much more of
favorite.
an artist than I am, but I'm hoping to join her again now that I have time.
Oh, I'm so excited. I completely see everything in that same artist filter. Because I was an artist too. I really like sculpture stuff. I went into more commercial art, but I like the just the eye for it, the ability to see it. It changes, I think, how you. It's like one of those skills that you can learn too. If you're not an artist, you just end up seeing the world. Like I look at things and I'm like, oh, that color, or oh, that big open spaciousness, or oh, that geometric shape. And I get so much joy from seeing the details through that. And you're right, like light is one of the most powerful things, right? And the light wouldn't be as the same if it didn't have the shadows to contrast it with. It's totally true.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, I love being on this crazy thing called life with you guys. It's so powerful when we can remove the idea of normal and start actually talking about what we actually really need in today, for today, with our crazy everything that happens to everyone. Life happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're getting lots of, you're going to have to go back and read. Can you see the comments, Amber? Only certain people can. I don't know why.
Maybe I could if I looked at the comments tab. Yeah, I can if I look at the comments tab.
There's a button that you press.
You can see it afterwards too. So
I'll have to look at that later. There's a lot.
Does anyone in the comments have any questions or any thoughts to add to this before we takes us like a while to wrap up, so we got to start it early. Who says hi? I don't know if I think you can probably see it now. But
hi, Liz. And everybody. I don't think we heard what Jess's good thing this week was.
Yeah, I asked Stella, but I didn't ask you.
Things are. Oh, here's Stella. Yeah, sure. Come on in. I actually am really embracing the craziness of every day. I'll tell you my favorite thing that happened this week. Stella goes, it's obviously living with me. She's over in the
yes.
So the girls actually went outside this weekend and they built teepees that are like pretty cool. They actually made a whole teepee village, and it's been a long time since they've just played outside like children, right? And we've had a lot of screen time this year. They're both like, one's 14 and one's 11. And I so loved that they did that. They were like outside doing something super creative for hours on end. I mean, they have like this whole village that's like the teepees are covered with, what did you put on the top of them? Hay. And
it gives her Blair Witch vibes, and Miss McAvoy said the same thing.
It does have a little Blair Witch vibe to it, but in a good way. It's like the good Blair Witch. So every time I drive up my driveway, I see this little village that they built, and it's awesome. It's not done. Yes. And they're building 6 more this weekend. Well, or next.
So amazing, and I want to see it.
I will take pictures and post it. They even got some more ingredients so they could have a fire in the teepee village. And although with the hay and the fire, that might not be the best idea. We'll have to talk about this later. Yes. I'll just, things are just like, we're working really hard on our house. We're up at night late working, and I find that productive physical labor feels so good for your soul, right? Like it's just, it just feels so good. And it feels good for me to be doing a project with my husband where we're not like trying to kill each other. So that was a real positive.
I love that.
You know,
it feels really good to work towards a physical project together.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. Yeah. So we laid 1,000 feet of piping down for radiant heat in our renovation that we're doing. And it was just, I mean, you know, it wasn't like 100% smiles, but like, but it felt really good. I love doing that stuff together. You know, like working towards a common goal feels really good to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. 100% smiles is fake too.
That's true. That is totally fake.
Let me just like bring this full circle.
All fake.
Because I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, you know, what we see as and what we perceive as what it looks like to be, you know, enjoying our life. And most of the time in my life, I'm just kind of sitting here like this. Like, I'm not like, yay, all these things that I get to do, right? It's just very much neutral and okay. And we're just at rest and at peace, and that's normal. And doing projects feels like that too. Like we're just, we're here side by side, working towards this thing. Sometimes we get irritated. Doesn't mean it's a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is an opportunity to like communicate better. And whereas in the past, I would have thought of this as like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. This is torture. And I'm not sure this is what I'm choosing for myself right now is a good idea. Like, you know.
Good mindset there.
Lots of good stuff going on.
Yeah. Good. Well, this was a good show.
I know. So I guess, okay. So next week we have Clutter Boot Camp. If anybody's watching and doesn't know what that is, we have like 3,000 people in Clutter Boot Camp.
Wow.
So I'm still happy to do this next week though, Allison. What do you think? We could do it like, and talk about how Clutter Boot Camp has gone with a massive community working towards a common goal. It's kind of fascinating.
I think that would be fun to do. Yeah.
Either Amber is frozen or she is very good at staying still.
I think she's frozen.
Amber, you froze like in a beautiful position.
I know, that never happens to me.
Never.
I love it. It's like very picturesque.
Oh, now she's gone.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Amber. We were happy to have you.
Talking to you.
We were happy to have you.
All right, Allison, you're awesome. Thank you for hanging in there with Stella.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This is just so fun to me. I think that the more things don't go as planned, the more interesting they are.
I totally agree. I love it when things mess up because that's where the adventure is. It's totally in like the mess up, right?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Go have lots of mess ups today.
Go adventure, my friends. If there's something you've been wanting to do, go do it.
Yes.
Life is too short.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Lots of
my friend.
Everyone will be here next week in the midst of boot camp.
Yay.
It's going to be amazing.
Yes, it will. So fun.
All right. Bye.
See you later.